Hello my dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel. So today in this video, we're going to solve the question paper, previous year question paper of Diploma CET. Before going to with the solutions for the question paper, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please click on the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that whenever we upload any new videos, so it will be notified to you. So let us begin with a question solution. Hello my dear students. So today in this video we're going to solve the questions on applied science. So in Diploma CET, the applied science section is common to all the students and the questions will be same for all the branch students. So let us solve the first question in the applied science section. So the first question is the two forces 3 Newton and 5 Newton acts on a body simultaneously, making an angle of 60 degree between them. The resultant force on a body is, the right answer is option 3, that is 7 Newton. So this 7 Newton, that is resultant force, is obtained by using a law of parallelogram of force. So we need to use that law and to identify the resultant force on a body. The next question is the dimensional formula of stress is, the right answer is option 2, that is L raised to minus 1 m T raised to minus 2. And we know that the stress can be given as force into area. Now the dimensional formula for force is m raised to 1 L raised to 1 T raised to minus 2, and area is m raised to 0 L raised to 2 and T raised to 0. If you multiply both these dimensional formulas, so then you will get L raised to minus 1 m raised to 1 T raised to minus 2. So that is a dimensional formula for stress, where L is a length, m is a mass, T is a time. The next question is the pull in the bicycle chain is an example of, the right answer is option 1, that is tensile stress. So what is this tensile stress? When a force applied on a body, so if the material expands or material elongates in the direction of force, so that is a tensile force. Now in the bicycle, the gear wheel on the wheel at the pedal side and the chain wheel at the pedal at the rear wheel, so you'll try to pull this chain continuously. So there is a tensile stress developed at this point. So the pull in the bicycle chain is a best example for tensile stress. The next question is the viscosity of water at 20 degrees Celsius in centipoise is, the right answer is option 3, that is 1.005. So what is this viscosity? Viscosity is a property of a fluid that gives the resistance to the deformation at a given rate. So that gives a measure of its resistance to the deformation at a given rate. So that is a viscosity. The next question is the dimensional formula of surface tension is, the right answer is option 4, that is L raised to 0 m T raised to minus 2. So what is this surface tension? Surface tension is a tendency of a liquid surface that shrinks into the minimum surface area. So that is a surface tension. The next question is a steel needle can be floated on the surface of a water because of, the right answer is surface tension. So this steel needle floats on the top of water because of a surface tension. The surface tension happens because the water molecules at the surface of a water, at the top surface of a water, are strongly attracted by each other. As a result, this steel needle floats on the surface of a water. The next question is the thrust on the bottom of a container having a base area 10 meters square and filled with water to a height of 6 meter is. So what is a thrust in this container? The right answer is option 2, that is 58.8 into 10 raised to minus 4. Now we know that the pressure can be given as rho g into h. Rho is a density of a liquid, h is a height of a liquid in a container, g is a gravitational constant. And already the h is given and water as a fluid is given in the statement. So 6 into 1000 into 9.81. That gives us a pressure, it is 58.86 kilopascal. So that is a pressure. Now thrust on any body can be identified by using pressure into area. Pressure is already calculated. Now area is given in the numerical statement. So when you multiply this pressure, identified pressure into area, you will get a thrust. So that will be 58.8 into 10 raised to 4 Newton. The next question is, keeping the temperature constant, if the pressure of a gas is doubled, its volume. So the right answer is reduced to half. So for a fixed mass of a gas at a constant temperature, the volume is inversely proportional to the pressure. That means if I increase the pressure for 10 times, means the volume will reduces to 10 times. So the volume is inversely proportional to pressure. The next question is, the heat transfer in the absence of a medium is, the right answer is radiation. So in a radiation heat transfer, so there is no requirement of any medium to transfer heat from one system to another system or one body to another body. Whereas in conduction and convection, there is a need of a substances or a medium to transfer the heat from one system to another system. The next question is, zero of absolute scale of temperature is at, the right answer is minus 273 degree Celsius. The absolute zero temperature at which the thermodynamic system has an lowest energy, it corresponds to the minus 273.15 degree Celsius. So in Fahrenheit scale, it is 459 minus 459.67 Fahrenheit. The next question is, the ripples on a water surface is an example of, the right answer is transverse wave. So what is this transverse wave? So the transverse wave is a motion in which all the points on a wave oscillates along the path to the right angles to the direction of wave. Some other examples of this transverse wave are seismic waves, electromagnetic wave. The next question is, the time interval between the two consecutive waxing and waning of a sound wave is, the right answer is option 1, that is beat period. It is called as beat period. So what is this beat period? It is the time interval between the two successive maximum or minimum, that is waxing and waning, is a called beat period. So that is a beat period. The next question is, the SI unit of intensity of sound is, the right answer is option 1, that is watt per square meter. So that is watt per square meter. So that is the SI unit of intensity of sound. The next question is, the study of characteristics of building with reference to the sound is, the right answer is acoustic. So the best example for acoustic buildings are music recording studios, cinema halls. So these are the best example for acoustic buildings. The next question is, the distance traveled by the disturbance in the medium for one complete oscillation is, the right answer is option 2, that is wavelength. So what is this wavelength? So wavelength is a distance between the identical points in adjacent cycle of a wave signal propagated in a space or along the wire. So that is a wavelength. So it is a distance traveled by a disturbance in the medium for one complete oscillation is called wavelength. The next question is, the momentum of photon is given by, the right answer is option 2, that is P is equals to h by lambda. So to calculate the momentum, so we use the Broglie equations. So the equation that is P is equals to h by lambda is called Broglie equation. So the momentum of each photon will be equals to Planck's constant divided by the wavelength of a light. So lambda is the wavelength of a light and h is a Planck's constant. The next question is, the velocity of sound in case of liquids is given by, the right answer is option 3, that is root k by d. So the sound travels around 1005 meter per second in the water, and it varies slightly with respect to the temperature. And this is much faster than the velocity of sound in air, whereas the velocity of sound in air is 340 meter per second. The next question is, a tuning fork vibrating in air is an example of, the right answer is damped free vibration. The tuning fork vibrating is a best example for damped free vibration. The next question is, Raman lines are, the right answer is option polarized. So the Raman lines are polarized. So in reality, however, the some fraction of Raman scattered light has a polarization direction that is perpendicular to the incident light. So the Raman lines are polarized. The next question is, a crystals which has a two optic axis is, the right answer is option 3, that is mica. So an optic axis of a crystal is a direction in which the ray transmitted light suffers no brightness or double reflection. So the biaxial crystals have a two optic axis, and this distinguishes the biaxial crystal from the uniaxial crystals.